Everyone's asking why. The world keeps spinning, no one seems to care. Lost in the noise, a silent prayer. Does anyone out there even hear the cry? I'm just a voice in the wind, but I'll keep on screaming, 'cause someone's missing. I won't stop dreaming.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. So today we're going to do the Project Cold Case Homicide Unsolved. Um, I want to say thank you for joining. I know it was kind of a last minute thing, so I appreciate each and every one of you. I see that I have Snooker Bum, Barb. Thank you for joining, Barb. I have Rick, and I'm going to say users must something user users must quit. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into this, and we'll go from there. Does it sound okay, guys? Hey, this kind Sharon Ike loved shopping with her daughter at a mall near Converse, Texas. Antonio. Kylie loved Sharon, and Kylie would tactfully ask if she wanted to go shopping with her. She kept up with the latest trends of her mother. Kylie's favorite brands were Baby Fat and Michael Kors. After not the fat, one day Kylie, 26, found lying on the floor of her home in Converse, Texas. Kylie's murder has not been. Kylie spent half of her school days in Birmingham, Washington, before before moving to San Antonio, Texas. As she entered high school, she had several friends. She was a social butterfly. She received her GED after being harassed by bullies in high school. Later, she received her certification in medical billing. And she never got a chance to use it. Kylie and her brother Cody were very close in age. Growing up together, they were inseparable. I was very protective over her, and she was protective over me. Hi, Mark. Hi, Paula. Thank you for joining. Tell me if the sound is okay. Someone let me know because I know this mic kind of can be silly. So if there is a problem with the sound, please let me know. We helped each other through a lot, says Cody. Kylie's personality described in a word would be love. I saw goodness in the world. Her favorite season was summer. And Cody served in the U.S. Army for 10 years before he medically retired. Events from Iraq and the murder of his sister took a toll on him mentally. Cody is now married and has 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. He also helps his mother with Kylie's daughters. They all have fun playing sports together. Cody's favorite memory of him was Kylie at a party that they had hosted together in a tiny apartment while their mom was out of town. Cody had 2 or 3 friends attend the party. Everyone else was there for Kylie. So full of life, so full of energy. Everyone loved being around her. She loved music and expressed herself often through songs. As a young adult, she loved girls' nights out. Kylie was not a big drinker, but she did have a drink occasionally. As an adult, she loved going to Chuck E. Cheese, full of life. She was one of those people you met that instantly you would fall in love with. She loved everyone. Her love for being a mother was so unconditional. Kylie had 3 daughters who were 2, 3, and 4 at the time of the death. When she saw or talked about them, her face would brighten. She always carried this glow. During the time leading to Kylie's murder, she secretly married her boyfriend at a justice of peace office. The relationship had a history of trouble, and the issues had not gone unnoticed. We had a relationship that people were envious of, says her brother. We could talk to each other about anything, but that close began to dwindle as I was concerned about Kylie's partner. Hi, Far. Hi, Trial Junkies. Thank you for joining. Now, Ike was determined to help her daughter. Ike had a best friend in Colorado which she stayed with for a while, Kylie to leave the relationship. Now, according to mom, Kylie's partner had too much control over her as she went back with him over and over, and they drove out to Colorado. Endless were made to protect Kylie, including police escorts to the woman's shelters, filing for divorce and moving back home with her mom, but nothing seemed to be a success. Contacted the district attorney months before her daughter's murder. If you don't put him away, he's going to kill her, she said. Eventually, Kylie left him and wanted to raise her children with her mother. On a Sunday morning, October 16th, 2016, I took three grandchildren to a pumpkin patch. I sent pictures of the kids to Kylie's phone, but never got a response. Kylie's mother said she then something was wrong, but what? Using her judgment, she called the police to do a wellness check. Now, when the police arrived, they found Kylie on her kitchen floor with a gunshot wound to her head. Ike does not remember a lot after receiving that news, but her brother was stationed in Korea during this time. 3 days before her murder, Kylie was with and she husband had found out and threatened him. An altercation between the two men did occur. No one was hurt. Stormy, thank you for strange husband was the main suspect in her murder. He was indicted by a grand jury, but district attorneys in San Antonio dropped the charges. Surprise. Kylie's children, Cody and Ike, have received counseling over throughout all of these years. The counseling will be ongoing to try to make sense of the unsolved murder of someone so special. Cody struggled with a lot after this. To function, he would smoke and zone out, trying to cope with PTSD. After counseling, Cody rededicated his life to God. He was baptized recently and gave his testimony. My son is back, and all I can see is his true self, said Ike, their mother. She was a beautiful soul, says Cody, the brother. This is the way Kylie's family remembers her. Now, her mother states, we have no doubt in the Lord that Kylie is an angel above, and her spirit shines throughout her three children. But we miss her daily, and it's been extremely difficult. Even though our struggle, her children are thriving in school, and they are in honor roll, participating in sports, and going on life. Just watching from, I know they're going out through this life as their mother watches from above. The person will never take us down, and we will fight until we receive justice for Kylie. Thank you for joining, Stormy. It's good to see everybody here. Okay, so we're going to move from Kylie to Melody. Melody is a little bit of an older one. Okay, here's Melody Rhodes Husk. Melody Rhodes Husk enjoyed playing with dolls with her little sister Roxanne. I remember spending hours playing Barbies with her. We didn't have Barbie dream houses back then, so we'd make our own house. Her sister Roxanne says. Now, Melody also enjoyed riding horses with her family at their house in South Carolina. This all changed for Roxanne and her family on December 14th, 1980. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I lost my place. Melody was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and grew up in Spartanburg and Cowpen, South Carolina. She moved to Neptune Beach with her family while she was 10. Neptune Beach is a small residential beach community just across the waterway from Jacksonville, Florida. Compared to its neighboring city, Jacksonville Beach, it is relaxed. Historically, Neptune Beach has attracted tenants such as lawyers, real estate agents, and really has remained an affluent area. Her brother still lives there with his family in their home. Melody's friends and family describe her as a fiery, feisty, but ambitious personality. Her brother Craig described her as bold and short, but she didn't back down from any fight. She should have been a boy, Craig said. He also mentioned that as an adult, she carried a knife and a weapon with her for protection. Melody's sister Roxanne has trouble walking as a child and still to today gets bullied. She can remember a specific time that she was bullied by a boy in school. Melody was so upset, she got into the boy's face and demanded he apologize and leave her alone. She even said, "If you ever speak that way to my sister again, it will get physical." Melody told the boy, and the boy backed down. Now, Melody was expected to do well in school when she didn't have homework, but her parents would assign their own homework. She enjoyed helping others and volunteering with the Special Olympics. Hi, Mustang. Thank you for joining. If I missed, I might have already said hello. If not, I want to make sure I greet everyone. The night she went missing, she went out with a friend to grab drinks. She was wearing stylish jeans and a sweater. Her friend stepped away from the table to dance, and according to her, when she came back, Melody was gone. The friend didn't search for her, but instead went to another party across town. Now, this is according to Roxanne. Although there was a suspicion that they knew the friend knew more, there wasn't sufficient evidence to prove any involvement, according to the police. Melody, at age 19, was last seen at Hobos in Neptune Beach on November 23rd, 1979. It was a freestanding building with a wooden area surrounding it. Her pickup truck was found in the parking lot near the wooded area. When Melody didn't come home that night or the next morning, her sister Roxanne became worried and contacted the friend that she had gone out with the night before. Now, the friend didn't know anything, she told Roxanne. The family reported her missing late that afternoon on the 24th. Now, according to Roxanne, there was no investigation completed by the police. As time passed, Melody's family continued searching the beaches and the areas where she had went missing. Melody's father started going to bars across Jacksonville, searching for the person of interest that the police had identified. Now, her disappearance caused tension with his parents in their marriage and ultimately led to their divorce. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. According to Roxanne, now this police department did not dust Melody's truck for prints, and it was found on the parking lot at Hobos. She said that they had mishandled Melody's missing person case. It was a struggle to get the police to even accept a missing persons report. Ugh, that's infuriating. My goodness. Just over a year later, Melody's remains were discovered about 4 miles away in Jacksonville. Now, police informed Melody's family that she had been murdered. While Melody's mother heard the news that day, she collapsed instantly. Crime in the area was minimal in the late 70s, so Melody's case was very unusual. Roxanne, then 16 years old, said that their house was filled with police, neighbors, family, all of it together. Her anxiety had taken over. Funeral planning started right away. A lot of people came. It was so difficult just to even go through that. Roxanne said to this day, her murder is still unsolved. 45 years after Melody's death, Roxanne said her grief has hit her almost so much that even doing household tasks like washing dishes is almost impossible. Melody's family has learned to accept their loss. They can't change it, and nothing can make it better. Roxanne keeps a picture of Melody in her house to keep her sister's memory alive. Anyone with information concerning Melody Road Husk's unsolved homicide is asked to call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at 904-255-2626 to remain anonymous and possibly be eligible for a reward. Please call the First Coast Crime Stoppers at 866-845-8477. Isn't that heartbreaking? That is awful. My goodness. Wow. Terrible. Let me come back over to chat real quick. If it, Stormy says if they weren't used to crimes like that, they might not have exactly. They didn't. I don't think they may have known, in the 70s how to deal with a crime like that. Sometimes to this day, I have doubts that some do, but we won't discuss that. Okay, our next one's going to be Sheldon Sanders. Let me get him up here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have the wrong one. Sheldon Sanders. On the day of his cousin's wedding, Sheldon Sanders caught the bouquet, something everyone knows is a sign of good luck. That day, he danced with his little sister. Now, Sanders, who was 15 years younger than he was, he just couldn't believe this. He was overjoyed. He jokingly told his sister that she would get married and have 8 children when she grew older. For Wolveria, This moment became one of the favorite memories. To her, Sheldon wasn't just a brother, he was a father figure, a mentor. He had always been there, teaching her everything from cooking, cleaning, to boxing and karate. It was a memory she could hold on to forever, and it showed with the bond that they had shared. But with that bond, oh, hold on just a moment, guys. My seems as if I am losing battery here. Sorry, guys. Okay. But with that bond was shattered when Sheldon didn't come home one night. Almost 2.5 decades ago, he had gone out to book hotel rooms at the Embassy Suites in Columbia, South Carolina, for a friend's bachelor party, but never returned. His body was never found, and his disappearance, which has been labeled as a murder, remains unsolved to this day. Sheldon Saunders was born on August 31st, 1975, in Rembert, South Carolina. He was loved by his community and became known for his leadership for God. At the age of 9, Sheldon had joined the Boy Scouts of America, specifically Cub Scouts. He played on the junior varsity football team for 2 seasons as in his mid teens. Sheldon became a member of the Knights of Pentagons, and an organization that trains young men in the area for leadership and responsibility. After graduating from Hillcrest High School, where he played snare drums in the school band, he enrolled in the University of South Carolina, majoring in administrative information management, and earned an award for his leadership skills. His strong friendships from high school did not fade after graduation. Many of his friends attended the same university, and their friendships continued. Sheldon's schooling was interrupted between 96 and 98 when he had to recover from severe third-degree burns. He had been burning leaves and cutting trees in the yard. The wind was heavy, and he caught on fire. The accident took him out of school for over a year. He returned with a complete degree, and in 1999, was still taking classes. He took a position as a systems manager in neuropsychology in the Department of University of South Carolina. Only 2 years later, on June 19th, 2001, Sheldon was gone. The night he went missing, he was supposed to plan and prepare the hotel rooms for his friend's bachelor party, but that was all by himself. But one of his college friends showed up unexpected to help. Sheldon called his mother and brother and told them he would be home within the next 2 hours, yet hours and hours had passed, and he still did not go home. My dad woke up from a nightmare that night. He heard gunshots in his dream and heard Sheldon screaming for help. It was midnight and Sheldon's car still wasn't there. It was unlike him, so my dad went out to search. Sheldon's dad looked for his son throughout that night and the night after, and he's still looking today. William Saunders, Shelton's father, did the best to protect the rest of the family from all the painful details of the situation. Now, he carried a lot of pressure and searched for his son after finishing work, sometimes not returning until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. At that time, Wolvera was 11 years old. She could hear her mother repeatedly crying and praying late at night. It was not until 7 years later in the courtroom that they found out the details of her brother's case. A suspect, a college friend who had been with him that night, had been arrested and tried on a charge related to murder, but a mistrial was declared due to a hung jury. The new trial was never scheduled. Watching her parents grieve the loss was just heartbreaking. The loss left them with very little quality of life. This was not an this was not an obvious thing because she grew up in a military neighborhood where it was common not to be around parents. When the investigation went cold, she could see the sadness on her parents' face. They've lost their Sheldon. But the Sanders family's not giving up. Even after all these years, they continue their efforts to find Sheldon's remains and seek justice. Now, Wolveria meets with investigators every 2 months and closely follows the steps regarding this case. Hi, Shane. Thank you for joining. Social media has become a powerful tool for this family. When this accident happened, there was no social media at all, so the father felt ignored and overshadowed at that time. Now, the community plays a crucial role by sharing posts about Sheldon. This helps bring more attention to the case. The attention this post could bring could help them find justice. Sheldon's dream of his sister having 8 children did not come true. Instead, she has two children, and she named the youngest after her brother. The children keep Sheldon's memory alive by talking about him. Her daughter often asks to participate in memorial walks for missing people and always prays for her uncle. Mulveria knows her brother would have loved her children as his own, and it's very sad they never got a chance to meet him. The family has set up a Sheldon Saunders tip line at 803-427-4209, and also an email at findingsheldonsaunders@gmail.com for those that choose to not to contact police. Anyone with information about this case, please contact 1-803-576-3462. To remain anonymous and get a reward, please call the Midlands Crime Stoppers tip line at 1-800-CRIME-SC. Okay, let me go back to chat. Isn't that terrible? So many. So many. If I missed anyone, I apologize. I hope the sound is still okay. Like I said, I did move my mic. But if I've missed anyone, put something in there, put a caution sign, put exclamation mark, something to grab my attention because I definitely don't want anyone to feel ignored. Have I missed anyone? I know I said hi to Mark. Okay, guys, and we'll go ahead and go on to the next one. And this one will be Diana Snodgrass. Okay, here is Diana. Diana was always the life of the party, especially when she was in a dance hall with George Strait playing on the speakers, who wasn't right. I went to the club with her one time back in the day, and she had went floating on over to the dance floor. Says her sister Pamela. She was an amazing dancer. Now Diana was also an amazing seamstress and an unbelievable cook. She was warm and funny, and just started classes in catering as a side business. Diana attended her last party over 35 years ago. She was last seen in a vehicle leaving her favorite bar in Jacksonville. Her body was found the next morning near US 129 exit off of 110 near Live Oak. Her murder has never been solved. Diana was the eldest daughter and was affectionately called Dee Dee after her four siblings. Now, she helped her mother raise her four brothers and sisters even before they traveled via Greyhound as they moved from Columbus, Indiana to Jacksonville, Florida in the summer of 67. Diana gladly held the title of Little Mom and often watched her youngest sister Pamela when they were children. But when they lived in Five Points on the Riverside neighborhood of Jacksonville, Diana and her siblings would regularly be seen running around and playing with local kids. She had a ton of friends, said Pamela, some good, mainly bad. As an adult, Diana was a well kept woman, always dressed up for each day, wearing her hair done perfectly in typical Florida girl fashion. She was always working on her perfect tan. In the summers, when she drove her station wagon with all the windows down, her hair just sweeping away in the wind, she wore a beautiful smile and always kept it up, no matter what. She smiled from daylight to dark. She often helped clean a beauty shop run by her mom's best friend just to get her perms done perfectly free. Perms, remember those? Perms. Woo, I remember those stinky perms. Thanksgiving was the family's favorite day, and Diana was one of the main cooks. Her and her mom would spend the whole day in the kitchen making the whole feast, but my favorite thing Diana made was green bean casserole. Ugh. The family always shared a meal together and occasionally invited friends to join them and when they had nowhere to eat. Just a week after her 33rd birthday, Diana was at a local bar called Beer Witch. Near the apartment complex was Jacksonville's Lane Avenue, July 27th, 1990. Stormy says, I still smell perm. I know. I know. You can't forget that. Okay, so just a week after her 33rd birthday, Diana was at the local bar, Beer Witch. Diana was last seen leaving the bar, presumably headed to a friend's house for the night. She was found the following morning on that Sunday. The paper posted in the article on the front page describing a deceased female who was found by police. Now, in 1990, the day after she was found, was the day the family found out. Her mother read the description in the paper and immediately knew it was her daughter. Angela would soon find out. When she was at a close family friend's house, she hadn't heard from Diana since she was leaving for work on the 27th. The investigation came screeching to a halt following a series of Gainesville murders that occurred in August of that year and grabbed all of the media attention. The family felt as though they had been put on the back burner. They still do. They no longer hold that resentment towards law enforcement, but they are just grateful that Diana was found. Following the tragedy, Diana's family members all mourned with tremendous loss of light in their lives. We fell apart, said Pamela. The family was blindsided with grief. The month after July is not a good month for me, says Pam. She visits her sister's grave often, but says that the Normandy area which is located is just too dangerous for her to visit anymore. She says that she has a hard time trusting strangers and is always on her toes with unfamiliar people. The reality is too harsh for Pamela, but she still allows herself to look back fondly on her memories of Diana. Diana's passing happened right before Angela's senior year of high school. During the summer visits to Florida, she doesn't remember much about the immediate aftermath, except for her mother's funeral. She distinctly remembers a man who showed up at the funeral that they didn't know. He was dressed well in some jeans and a nice t-shirt. I just remembered him looking very nice, she said. He told Angela that his friends convinced him to come to the funeral to honor Diana as his favorite waitress at the restaurant. He said he's always known the coffee was going to be great when Mom was working. Her daughter Angela Harris now lives in Indiana, but tries to visit Florida every year to see family and clean up her mom's headstone. My trip isn't just for Mom, but I think of her on the way and the way back in the quiet moments, especially on the beach. And when I think of her the most is just being here. The years since the tragedy has helped to ease Angela's grief, but she just wishes that she hadn't lost her mom so young. That was such a bratty age. I just wish I could have developed a more of a relationship with my mom. The remembrance of Diana. Now, Pamela eats a great big side of green bean casserole every Thanksgiving. Since the tragedy, Pamela says, has gained tremendous respect for the families and the victims of violent crimes. She now always strives to reach out to people and try to get to sink in the sea of grief. For her experiences, the pain, the waves of grief, she has learned to be strong and continue living for her sister. However difficult it really is. Anyone with information concerning Diana Lynn Snodgrass's unsolved homicide is asked to call their sheriff's office at 386-362-2222. And to remain anonymous and possibly be eligible for a reward, call Crime Stoppers at 386-208-8477. Let me take her off here. All right, guys, I want to thank you all for joining me. I realize that this is short. It's only a 28-minute live, but it does kind of give you some insight into some old project cold case unsolved homicides. We have to remember each and every one, as I know that they are gone now, but we have to keep their story alive. But I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, God bless.
In a world that turns too fast, some are lost, left in the past. But we won't let silence win. We'll speak their names again. Voices rising through the dark. Every story leaves a mark. We are the ones who won't forget. The fight for truth is not done yet. We shine the light, we raise the call. For the missing, the broken, we stand tall. For justice, for healing,